Congress to investigate this, and are you in support of Congress investigating it,
You
or
know,
reinvestigating the 9/1 Commission investigation, or however you want to put it?
it's hard in my job to sort of say I want to see this happen or that happen.
No, I first asked you if you are aware of anybody in Congress.
Oh, well, unfortunately, Washington is obsessed with who becomes president of the United States, and it's just a bad
So
season.
this time you're not aware of anybody.
No, but you'll have a new leadership in January.
When you say you're in your business, you're saying that you're.
Well, as a newspaper reporter, you're not supposed to really say, I support this ballot initiative or that ballot initiative or Congress investigating this or that. I'm supposed to raise facts that people act on.
Okay. Sir, just
Well,
one more question. I'd like to shift attention a little bit over to the Pentagon. One of the most surveilled buildings in the world, cameras every few steps that you walk. And they haven't been able to give us one shot showing a plane.
They gave you one.
No, they showed
gave you
us
that one-
an
they gave you that one
explosion on
grainy
the other
video.
side.
Which
Doesn't
is,
show any
right
plane.
streak,
They gave you one grainy
But it
video.
looks like a missile.
That plane
It
is
looks like
moving
a
real
missile.
fast if it's a plane. And it just as a citizen, I found that odd that there wasn't more
And then the circular
video.
holes going through 5 or 6.
Well, but again, the problem I have with the Pentagon, and I understand for our viewers, the theory is that a missile hit the Pentagon and not a plane. Well, and of course the question I would ask you is, so where is the plane, and where are those people, and why was DNA of some of the passengers found at the Pentagon? It seems to me that these conspirators, they wanted to plow a plane with the Pentagon, and that's what people tell us happened.
Did you ever see the close-up picture of the whole of the Pentagon where there's a book on like the 3rd or 4th floor? There's actually an open book, and the pages are white. They're not brown. They're not singed. The book is still sitting there. Meanwhile, the plane had so much heat that it just totally vaporized. So that doesn't make sense.
And then the very damning stuff about the Pentagon is the fact that it was hit at all over an hour after the first hijacking was known about, and that Hani Hanjour supposedly did this 300, to hit the side away from where Rumsfeld was, So that's very strange.
I'll tell you though, if Don Rumsfeld was part of it, do you think he'd really want to be part of a conspiracy that would send a plane into the Pentagon? I mean, let's say the guy is off like half a second. He's going to hit where Donald Rumsfeld's office is. Seems like a terrible risk to take if Rumsfeld was part of the conspiracy to have a plane plow into any part of the Pentagon.
Well, if it was radio controlled, it wouldn't
exactly.
be a problem.
The other problem I have with the Pentagon is this argument that it's the best surveilled, best protected building on Earth. It's not.
Fair enough.
Ever been to Washington? Because when you land at Washington Reagan Airport, you go right next to the Pentagon. If a pilot landing a U.S. Airways plane went, a little bit off course, he would hit the Pentagon. It's not the best protected building on Earth.
And then the other part with the Pentagon is when Cheney was, and I don't know if you talked about this in your book, is the problem with the timeline of when Cheney actually showed up in the Presidential Emergency Operations Center. Because the Commission and Cheney are both on the record as putting him there right before 10, which is 20 minutes after the Pentagon supposedly got hit. Norman Mineta, Richard Clark put him there at 9:20. And then there's this whole Norman Mineta testimony that is up on the internet. You can find it, where he's talking about the plane's 50 miles out, 30 miles out, 10 miles out. Did the order still stand? Of course the order still stand. Did you hear anything to the contrary? So, I mean, is Dick Cheney, is the Commission lying about when he was in there? And why are they lying?
Well, actually, this is an interesting part of the conspiracy, too, though. If you buy the idea that there's conspiracy,
internal
and I'm sorry, yes, all right, and that the vice president is part of it. Again, if I'm Dick Cheney and I'm part of that conspiracy, do I want to be anywhere near the middle of Washington as the planes are coming in?
Yes, if you're helping making sure that everything's in place and that you're going to have to deliver
but
orders.
It seems if one of those planes goes a little off course, or
that's why you don't have Hani Hanjour piloting those planes.
I want to get back to my original question.